Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here, continuing King of the Ring month with another King of the Ring review. Now here's my review of King of the Ring 2001. Yeah, so this is a really good show right here, yeah. I could maybe even say this was a great show. Yeah, I mean, this was just a really good show from top to bottom. I mean, really, there was nothing really bad on this show at all. I mean, yeah, every match on the show was really pretty enjoyable. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I could quite possibly say this was the best King of the Ring pay-per-view of all time. Yeah, I mean, this was just a really good to great show. Yeah, I mean, I've seen this show, oh, several times before, and yeah, it still does live up to everything that I've seen before, yeah. It's just a really good to great show right here, yeah. So yeah, let me just get right into this thing right here, yeah. The show opened up with like a little promo by DDP, yeah. This was just the previous week on Raw, DDP revealed himself as Undertaker's wife's stalker. Yeah, and he just cut a little promo saying that he would be there, and yeah, he was just telling Undertaker that he would be sitting in the front row, and he viewed the guy with the sign, and yeah, DDP had a sign saying, "Make me famous," and it had an arrow pointing down. Yeah, and yeah, throughout the night, it showed like some footage of DDP in his personal life, like what he did to Sarah. And yeah, it was just like, yeah, throughout the night, there was just some footage shown of DDP leading up to the competition between him and Undertaker, which I'll talk about later. Alright. Yeah, and yeah, this is when they went back to just having semifinals and the finals in the tournament. Yeah. So yeah. First match of the night was the first semifinal match between Kurt Angle and Christian. Yeah, this was a good match right here. Yeah. Yeah, it was only about 8 minutes, but yeah, it was a very enjoyable 8-minute match, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, Angle early on dominated the match against Christian, and he tried to go for the match quickly because yeah, on this night, this was also the night when he had his street fight with Shane McMahon, so yeah, he tried to end his match quickly so he would have as much rest as possible before the match with Shane, but yeah. Christian then was starting to get some momentum over Kurt Angle. And yeah, Kurt Angle then hit Christian with a series of suplex. X's on to Christian, yeah. At one point, Christian was like up on the top turnbuckle, and Angle like shoved him down to the floor. Yeah. And then yeah, Christian then eventually hit Kurt Angle with like some kind of spinning heel kick. Yeah. And then yeah, Kurt Angle then was gonna go for like a moonsault on Christian, but then Shane McMahon came out, and yeah, Kurt Angle kind of like took his eye off. Shane didn't actually get involved in the match right there, and yeah, Christian didn't really capitalize at all, but yeah, Angle was kind of like took his eye off and was distracted with Shane, and yeah, he missed the moonsault. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, and like Christian then like he was able to counter the Angle Slam, and he hit Unprettier on Kurt Angle, and yeah, it looked like Christian had the match won, but yeah, Christian pulled, well, no, Christian was pulled off of Kurt Angle by Shane, and yeah, and then yeah, Shane then was like leaving, and then yeah, Christian looked back at Shane, and like wondering what was going on, and then as Christian was on the ring apron, Kurt Angle hit an Angle Slam on Christian back into the ring, and yeah, Kurt Angle pinned Christian and he got the win, yeah. And then we saw Shane smiling about it, yeah. And then we'd later find out that this was just part of Shane's plan to make Kurt Angle wrestle another match before the street fight. So, yeah, this was still a good match, yeah. I give this about 3 stars. And then we had Edge versus Rhyno in the other semifinal match. And yeah, this was good too. Yeah. Rhyno was really like dominating early on against Edge. Yeah, and yeah, it was like spilling to the outside, yeah. And Rhyno then at one point exposed the steel in the middle turnbuckle, and he no, not suplexed, he Irish whipped Edge into it, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and Rhyno was like targeting Edge's ribs in this match. Yeah, he like threw Edge's ribs onto the barricade on the outside of the ring, yeah. And then he like had a body scissors on Edge. Yeah. And then it was awesome. At one point like Rhyno was gonna go for the gore on Edge. And then when Edge turned back and Rhyno was charging, Edge also charged with the spear, and yeah, they had like they just collided with the spear and the gore. Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, Rhyno then tried to hit another gore on the Edge, but Edge moved out of the way, and Rhyno hit the exposed steel in the turnbuckle, and then Edge hit an execution on Rhyno, and Edge pinned Rhyno and got the win. So yeah. And yeah, this was this was good too. I give this 3 stars also. Then next up we had the tag team title match. This was just announced earlier in the night on Sunday Night Heat. Yeah, Spike issued a challenge to the Dudley Boyz. Yeah. Yeah, and Spike Dudley had a surprise tag team partner, yeah. It was the Dudley Boyz defending against Spike Dudley and his tag team partner, who turned out being Kane. Yeah. And yeah, this was a decent match right here, yeah. Not really one of the best things on the show. This was probably the quote-unquote worst match of the night, but it was still, like, decent. Yeah. Yeah, and then, yeah, Spike, it was mainly, like, Spike trying to get some revenge on the Dudley Boyz for turning on him. Yeah. And yeah, Kane was also trying to dominate the Dudley Boyz in this match, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, at one point, Spike hit Bubba Ray Dudley with the Dudley Dog. And yeah, tried to go for the pin, but yeah, Bubba survived it. I did when Devon broke up the count, yeah. And then yeah, eventually Spike also tried to go for a Dudley Dog on Devon, but yeah, Devon reversed it, and yeah, the Dudley Boyz hit a 3D on Spike Dudley, and yeah, then the Dudley Boyz won and they retained the titles. So yeah, and then afterwards they tried to hit a 3D on Spike through a table, but then yeah, Kane then came back, and yeah, he took out both the Dudley Boyz, and yeah, he chokeslammed Bubba through the table. So yeah, it was a decent match. I give it about 2.5 stars. Yeah, and then next up we had the King of the Ring finals, Kurt Angle versus Edge. Yeah, and this was the earliest ever that the final had gone on in the show. Yeah, but yeah, it made sense on why, because yeah, this was mostly set around Kurt Angle's match with Shane and the WWF title match. Yeah. So yeah, it's understandable why they had the final go on this early in the show here. And yeah, Kurt Angle tried to like have Edge forfeit this match because yeah, he wanted to stay fresh for his match against Shane, but yeah, Edge refused to forfeit, and yeah, the match ended up going on. And yeah, once again, yeah, Edge's ribs were like hurting in this match, yeah. And yeah, it was kind of going back and forth. Yeah, this was still like good, yeah. Yeah, Kurt Angle was kind of like dominating most of this match, yeah. He like had an ankle lock on Edge, but yeah, Edge reversed the ankle lock into a pinfall. But yeah, Christian then like ran out. Yeah, Christian like ran out, and he like was, yeah, this was kind of like he possibly like around the time where Christian's jealousy for Edge started. So yeah, he was like trying to, guess, prevent Edge from winning right there. Yeah, but Christian later on said that he was just trying to help Edge by coming out right here. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, and then at one point Edge accidentally nailed the referee, and the referee got knocked out. Yeah, and then Kurt Angle applied another ankle lock on the Edge, and yeah, Edge actually did tap out, but then yeah, referee was still out, and then yeah, Shane McMahon appeared again, and then he speared Kurt Angle, and then yeah, Edge then hit an execution on Kurt Angle, and yeah, Edge got the win. Yeah, Edge became 2001 King of the Ring, and yeah, once again, it did kind of like start to sort of build Edge up as a top star, although yeah, it took them like over 3 years to finally give Edge a world championship, but yeah, this did kind of sort of like help Edge in a way to be into like a top star, even though yeah, it didn't really start for another 3 years over 3 years, yeah, but still, yeah, Edge did eventually become a top star. So yeah, and yeah, this was a good match. I give it about 3 1/4. Yeah. And then next up we had the light heavyweight championship match. Jeff Hardy defending against X-Pac. Yeah, this was another decent match right here. Yeah. Yeah, X-Pac was dominating most of this match, yeah. Yeah, throughout the match it was like typical like light heavyweight or cruiserweight action, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And then yeah, X-Pac actually did have the match won. Won after hitting an X Factor on Jeff Hardy, and yeah, he actually did get the pin, but Jeff Hardy's foot was on the ropes. Oh, and yeah, the referee then saw it after he made the count, so yeah, he didn't call for the bell. The match continued. And yeah, eventually Jeff Hardy then hit a swanton bomb onto X-Pac. And yeah, that allowed Jeff Hardy to get the pin and retain the title. So yeah, X-Pac did kind of get screwed over here. But yeah, still a decent match. I give it a 2 3/4. Yeah, and then we got the Undertaker-DDP confrontation, when DDP finally had enough of all that footage showing of his personal life, yeah, and he finally called Undertaker out. And yeah, Undertaker basically just kicked the living crap out of DDP here. I mean, seriously, this was something that I just didn't like about this Undertaker-DDP feud. I mean, Undertaker was doing all this, well, no, DDP was doing all this stuff to antagonize Undertaker, and yet he could never back it up. I mean, he just basically got his ass kicked here, and then, yeah, I've talked about what happened at SummerSlam that year, where Undertaker and Kane won the tag titles from DDP and Kane, and yeah, Undertaker and Kane basically, like, dominated that whole match. Yeah, I mean, just, I hated how weak they made DDP seem when he actually came face to face with Undertaker. Or, yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, like I said, DDP did all this stuff to antagonize Undertaker, and yet he couldn't back up any of it, and he always got the living crap beaten out of him. So, yeah, and yeah, I'm obviously not gonna rate this brawl between DDP and Undertaker, because, yeah, I mean, this wasn't an actual match, this was just a fight between the two guys. But, yeah, afterwards, when DDP just had enough, he just left the building. Yeah. Yeah, as Undertaker was beating the crap out of DDP, his wife Sarah was just filming the entire thing. Well, yeah. And then we get the street fight between Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon. This was a great match right here. This was hands down Shane's best match in his career. Here, and yeah, it could possibly be one of Kurt Angle's best matches. I mean, this is better than any of his matches with Chris Benoit, better than any of his matches with Shawn Michaels. Yeah, this was a great match right here. Yeah, just great stuff from start to finish here. The brawling between the two of them Well then, yeah, yeah. Kurt Angle came in right at the beginning and he basically just beat the living crap out of Shane McMahon. Yeah, Kurt Angle like did a couple of amateur wrestling positions a couple of times, and one Shane McMahon just kicked Angle right in the ribs. Yeah. You know, at one point, like, Shane was standing on the barricade behind JR and Paul Heyman's announce table, and then he just jumped right over it and nailed Kurt Angle. Well, yeah. At one point, Shane got a kendo stick, and he was nailing Kurt Angle with that. But, yeah, the first shot, he must have hit Kurt Angle so hard, because, yeah, after that first shot, the kendo stick just broke. Yeah. Yeah. Then, yeah. At one point, like, Shane tried to pin Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle, like, raised up his neck, kind of like doing a neck bridge. And then, yeah, yeah, he did that like 3 times, and then, after the third neck bridge, Shane just dropped an elbow on Kurt Angle. Yeah, and then Shane then brought some more weapons into the ring. He brought a wooden board, yeah, remember that, wooden board. And then, yeah, he brought in some trash cans and trash can lids and a road sign. Then he was nailing Kurt Angle with those, yeah. At one point, like, Shane had an ankle lock on Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle, like, kicked Shane in the head and broke it up, yeah. And then at one point, Shane had a sharpshooter on Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle got to the ropes, but then Shane pulled Kurt Angle back, and then Kurt Angle broke it by nailing Shane with the kendo stick. And yeah, and then Shane was able to fight off Kurt Angle before he was able to use the kendo stick again. And then yeah, at one point Shane tried to go for a shooting star press with a trash can on top of Kurt Angle, but yeah, Kurt Angle moved out of the way and Shane missed the move. Yeah. And then yeah, it spilled to the outside of the ring down the aisleway. And then yeah, Shane gave Kurt Angle a huge suplex onto the concrete floor. Yeah. And yeah, you could actually see like the look on Angle's face, how bad it hurt. Yeah. And then yeah, at one point, like, Kurt Angle threw Shane headfirst into like a structure for the King of the Ring chair that was part of the staging. Yeah. And then yeah, we had the stuff with the glass where Kurt Angle first gave a belly to belly suplex to Shane and didn't break the glass, and Shane came down right on his head. Yeah, and then Kurt Angle tried it again, and then he did succeed in throwing Shane through the glass. Yeah. Yeah, that cut Shane open really bad, and yeah, it cut Kurt Angle's shoulder open, yeah. And then Kurt Angle tried to do it again to Shane from the inside, but yeah, he tried that a couple of times, but the glass didn't break, and then he just threw Shane face first right through the glass, yeah. And Kurt Angle tried to go for a pin on Shane, but yeah, it wasn't false count anywhere, so yeah, referee didn't make the count. And then Kurt Angle then just wheeled Shane back to the ring with an amble case, yeah. And it looked like Kurt Angle had the match won, but Shane kicked out. And after Shane kicked out, the crowd just exploded, yeah. Yeah, and then Kurt Angle tried to hit Shane with a trash can lid, but Shane gave Kurt Angle a low blow and then nailed Kurt Angle a couple of times with the trash can lid, and he gave Kurt Angle an angle slam. Yeah, he tried to pin Kurt Angle again, but Kurt Angle kicked out. And Kurt Angle tried to go for an ankle lock on Shane, but Shane was trying to fight it, and then Kurt grabbed Shane's other leg and catapulted him into the turnbuckle, yeah. And then Kurt Angle got the wooden board, nailed Shane with it a couple of times, and then set it up on the ropes, and then he used it as a platform to give Shane an angle slam right back down to the canvas, and then Kurt Angle won the match. So yeah, it was a great match right here. 4.5 stars. This was freaking awesome. Yeah. And then we got the main event, which was the triple threat match for the WWF Championship. Stone Cold defending against Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. I'd say this was a good main event right here, yeah. Yeah, Lundrick said that this match was is kind of unmemorable because he said like the problem was that it was obvious that Benoit and Jericho were not gonna actually beat Stone Cold here, and yeah, that is, yeah, I see why he says that. Yeah, it's true, because yeah, they were not on the level of Stone Cold by any means. Yeah, this was also the first pay-per-view after Triple H tore his quad. Yeah, I have a feeling that if Triple H hadn't have gotten injured, this would have been a fatal four-way with Triple H. Yeah, but yeah, I still thought that this was a good main event right here. Yeah, for the first few minutes of the match, Benoit and Jericho were just double teaming Stone Cold. Well, yeah, and then eventually the two of them did start going at it. Yeah. Then at one point, Benoit like German suplexed Chris Jericho out of the ring down to the floor, and yeah, Chris Jericho was out of the match for a little while, and Benoit and Stone Cold went at it. Yeah. And then as Chris Jericho finally started to come around, he tried to get back into the ring. Stone Cold threw Benoit right into Jericho, and Jericho went down again. Yeah. Yeah, and then at one point, as the referee was down, Benoit hit Stone Cold with the WWF title, and it looked like Benoit maybe had the match won right there, but Jericho broke up the count, and then yeah, then like Chris Jericho took Benoit in the match for a little while. Yeah. 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 And yeah, Benoit was down, like I said, and then yeah, Stone Cold hit a couple of superplexes on Jericho. Yeah. And at one point, Benoit tried to go for a steel chair, and then yeah, he was gonna hit Stone Cold with it, but Stone Cold ducked, and Benoit accidentally hit Jericho. And then yeah, Stone Cold then gave Benoit the stunner, and he tried to pin Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho kicked out. Yeah. And then yeah, at one point Jericho and Benoit both had the walls of Jericho and the crossface on Stone Cold at the same time, and then Stone Cold did tap out, but the referee said like there could only be one champion, so yeah, the match just had to continue. And then yeah, Benoit and Jericho went at it again. And yeah, Stone Cold rolled to the outside of the ring. At one point he tried to go for a steel chair, but then Benoit kicked the chair right into Stone Cold. And Stone Cold went down again on the floor, yeah. And as Benoit was trying to go for a suplex on Jericho, Jericho reversed and lifted Benoit and threw him to the outside of the ring, yeah. And then yeah, then Booker T came through the crowd and attacked Stone Cold. Well then yeah, he gave Stone Cold a scissors kick, and then he threw Stone Cold through the Spanish announce table. Yeah. Then yeah. Then eventually, yeah, Benoit and Jericho were fighting on the outside of the ring again. Jericho hit Stone Cold with a piece of the announce table a couple of times. Yeah. And then yeah, in the end of this thing, like Benoit and Jericho were going at it, and then yeah, Benoit hit a belly-to-back suplex on Jericho, and yeah, this was when Chris Benoit broke his neck, and yeah, this was when he suffered his broken neck, and yeah, was out of action for almost a year, and then yeah, afterwards, and then Stone Cold just crawled towards Chris Benoit and pinned him. So yeah, wasn't really too much a fan of the ending, seeing how it was just like a borderline heel tactic, but yeah, since it's a heel, I mean, yeah, I guess it does kind of make sense, considering what Stone Cold was like at the time. Yeah, but yeah, I would have liked it better if it was actually a legit finish with like Stone Cold hitting the stunner and then getting the win. But yeah, this happened, so yeah, can't really complain about it really. But yeah, this was still a good main event. I give it 3 3/4. Yeah. Overall, the show I give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, it was mostly due like to the last two matches, the Street Fight and the Triple Threat, both really good and great matches here. And the rest of the show really was not that bad either. I mean, both semifinals were good, the final was good, and yeah. Yeah, and yeah, the tag title match and the light heavyweight title match were still decent matches, so yeah. Like I said, nothing really bad on the show at all, so yeah. Overall, really good to great show. And as I said, probably the best King of the Ring pay-per-view of all time. So, yeah. Alright, so that does it for my review of 2001 King of the Ring. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yep, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.